Sports welcomes you to Wednesday afternoon basketball. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg. Thanks for tuning in. It's Western Conference versus Eastern Conference here in Dallas, Texas, where the Mavericks will try to protect home court. A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Williams and Smith are in there at the forward positions. Vivian Johnson in the backcourt, and Horford. And for the Mavericks, Kidd and Butler at the 1 and the 2. Marion and Dirk make up the forwards. And Haywood. One thing we remember about Atlanta last season, the Hawks grabbed the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, but they had some issues on the road.
Yeah, only 19 wins compared to 22 losses away from home. They had similar numbers to that the season prior as well, and that's one of the things that can maybe hold them back from being a team that advances deep into the playoffs.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Kevin, earlier I had a chance to speak with Rick Carlisle. He thinks the biggest battle for them is simply finding the space to operate effectively on offense. He said this is a team that plays so tight defensively that you can feel like you don't have room to breathe. The only way to exploit that is with motion off the ball and efficient passing. Gentlemen?
Thanks, Doris. Clark, so much for advanced scouting.
Sometimes that's a false prophecy, though, and you have to adjust to what the other team is coming out and running.
Going back to the Hawks road play, you saw the Rose kind of play them out of the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly, Kevin. We talked about that. When you're sub 500 on the road, even if you can get to over 50 wins, in the playoffs you're going to have to win on the road to beat another good team. And the Hawks really struggled in that area.
They struggled at home and on the road in that series against Orlando. They were brutal.
Yeah, it was ugly.
And so here is Dallas. For 3, Kidd kept alive. Here's Marion, and good, they convert on the second chance. Marion's got his first basket of the night. And it's the Hawks ball. You think about Sean Marion, and the first thing that comes to mind is that low, flea flicker release.
Hey, he gets it off quick, though, Kevin. It is unorthodox. It's been effective for him.
Shot's good by Williams.
Drew the D in, and then kicked it out to the open man.
And here is Kidd. Takes a 3, and that is good. Kidd's got his second bucket of the night. With Marion, how many times have coaches overlooked him because of that form, that odd shot he takes?
I don't think very much at all once they saw how consistent he was in knocking it down. I mean, it's not what it looks like. It's how productive it is. And he's been consistent with it.
Williams' shot is off.
He really needs to hit that consistently, but they'll just keep letting him shoot it. He should leave those long bomb passes alone.
Bibby with it. Pass to Johnson. Now Horford with a wide open look. And it's Horford again missing.
Shocking how wide open he was. Even more shocking that he couldn't sink it.
Launches it. Another 3 for Dallas.
He's just so gifted offensively. He's a tough guy to match up with.
The Hawks trail by 4. Now Bibby. Over Nowitzki. The Hawks again can't hit. Let's go with a 3. And it's Butler missing. First quarter over, and big numbers up on the board. Hawks, 7. And now the start of the second quarter. And so far, it's been a closely contested game. Here's Kidd. 6 points for him. One thing you have to deal with when you're playing Dallas, not only Clark can they make the threes, but you know what? They can defend the three-point shot pretty well.
Well, I know that's an emphasis of Rick Carlisle. They finished top 10 a year ago in three-point field goal defense, and they were able to do that because they do a nice job closing out on deep shooting threats, and then they don't give up very many easy shot attempts from behind the three-point line. They transition defensively as well.
On the court right now for the Hawks. Crawford is joined in the backcourt by Joe Johnson. Smith and Horford at the 4 and the 5. And Evans. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Kevin, Jason's kid during his last seasons in New Jersey, as he began to slow down just a bit, decided he needed to do something to compensate. So he focused on mastering the three-point shot. He went to work every summer with a shooting coach, and look at the results. The last 3 seasons, he shot over 40% from deep, and last season he set a career high for three-pointers made with 176. The older he gets, the better he gets, Kevin.
He keeps adding layers to his game. Thank you, Doris. Well, the grimace of pain tells it all. He's hurt, and let's hope he's okay.
Kevin, this is certainly one aspect of the game that you never want to see. Hopefully the injury's not too severe, and he'll be able to return to action soon.
And making a change here, the Mavericks. Here's Johnson. And Johnson missing again. Mavericks leading by 4. Something about Joe Johnson, a huge guy for a wingman. He's 6'7", 240. But if his frame is a little intimidating on the court, his demeanor is anything but.
Every time I've encountered him, very low-key and soft-spoken, trying to stay away from the center of attention.
Well, Clark, now it looks like we've got an injury, and he may have to come out of the game. That doesn't look good.
Tough break there, Kevin. You hate to see a guy go down with an injury. Let's hope he can get back soon.
Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Jason Terry. Then for the Hawks, Pachulia, he's checked in for Horford. Williams comes in for Josh Smith. And Mike Bibby is subbed in for Maurice Evans. Here's Bibby. No points for him. Johnson outside. Back to Bibby. Just 5 on the clock. Tipped. Here's Pachulia. Kept alive. Time jam. Let's see it again with the Sprite Slam Cam.
That's a fantastic effort, Kevin. I mean, really, offensive rebounds are so important to helping your team win.
Clark, just look at how he used his strength to get back up and finish.
Yeah, I love it. Love it.
And let's go to Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have for us?
Well, Kevin, as you know, Jamal Crawford had a big season last year with the Hawks, and Joe Johnson appreciated the help offensively. Johnson said, guys have to stay home with him, and they don't want to leave him, so it gives me more room to operate. It feels great to have another guy there to make the defense play honest, and who can really score the basketball. It takes a ton of pressure off me. Nice tag team for the Hawks, gentlemen.
It is indeed. Thank you, Doris. Crawford, no luck.
That's not something you'll see very often. Not the mid-range jumper he wanted, but off target. Nice anticipation right there to snatch that one.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Here's Bibby. And once again off the mark by Atlanta. Mavericks leading by 5. Here's Barea. Good in the assist to Kidd.
Kicked it to the right guy at the right time. That's a good pass.
Here comes Bibby. Looking for his first bucket of the game. Crawford outside. And that's not going to fall for him. And the first half is now in the books.
Check out the game.
Thanks for joining us for... Thanks so much.
And the second half beginning in just a few moments. Here's Kidd. 8-point game. You hate to say it so often, but it is what it is. Another early exit in the playoffs last year for these Mavericks. They spent so much money. Another disappointment for them.
You know what? It just shows you how difficult it is to have postseason success, Kevin. It's really hard. Teams like the Lakers and Celtics have made it look easy in the past, but it's a difficult thing to do. I mean, heck, those teams are good, the Mavericks, but they run into teams that typically are able to have their numbers. They look great on paper, have a great regular season, but then in the postseason, the matchup get the best of them.
Dirk and Marion flank Haywood in the middle. Kidd and Butler at the 1 and the 2. That's the lineup out there for the Mavericks. And here's Bibby, following the three-pointer by Jason Kidd. Bibby misses. 2:06 left in the third. Mike Bibby out of Arizona, still a deadly shooter after all these years.
One of the outstanding strokes in the game, Kevin. Very reliable. You know, he's starting to slow down a little bit, but the one thing that never leads a good shooter is his stroke. We've seen him make 3 of their first 4 shots. That's good shooting to jumpstart him here.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks. The Mavericks making a switch here. Chandler's checked in. Atlanta also making some changes. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Mike Bibby. Checking in. Here's Johnson. Sean Marion covering. Horford with the screen on Marion. Here's Johnson. And nothing is falling for him right now.
Boy, they appear to be a little tight after halftime.
Three-pointer, Kidd. Again, Kidd missing. They have a lot of ground to make up here.
They're struggling. Nothing seems to be working for them right now.
Crawford dishes to Williams. Buries the free throw line jumper. Williams has got 7 points in the game. Some interesting stats start to pop up when you look at the Hawks. They played the 4th slowest pace in the league last year. That kind of surprises me with all their athleticism.
Me too, Kevin. I mean, you would think they would be much more committed to playing at a faster pace, especially since they've got so many guys that would seem to thrive in that kind of offense.
Now here's Johnson. Dirk Nowitzki unable to get his shot to go. Johnson, good.
I think this is where you want to operate. This is where you want to be taking shots from as an offense, in and around the paint.
For 3, Kidd. And that one's good. He's got 15. Back to the Hawks pace that we saw last year. Why switch to a slower offense then?
Well, I think part of it was it helped them maybe limit turnovers. Sometimes teams aren't capable of playing efficiently and fast. And overall, because they are a young team, maybe a slower pace kept the turnovers down.
But you'll take energy anytime you can get it, won't you?
Yeah, I think I would. Yes, sir. Well, Kev, they're making a strong statement under the boards. I mean, out-rebounding by a pretty good margin here.
Now Crawford. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. From the wing. Kept alive. Horford gets the bucket.
Snares the offensive rebound, then sends it home.
Chandler with the ball. 1 second left. And that's off as he tries to beat the buzzer. Buzzer sounds in a double-digit game as we end the third quarter.
The Hawks, 17.
Fourth quarter getting going here. It's time for our Sprite Spark of the Game report. Let's go to Doris Burke.
Thanks, Kevin. It's the Mavericks with the spark of the game with that big push we saw. They put a big run together in that first quarter with their tough defense and have had...
Great, Doris. That big scoring run being a difference maker, Clark, in this game.
Well, it often comes in spurts, Kevin. Spurtability is what I call it, and that's what happened today.
Here is Bibby. So Johnson sitting on the bench. Here's the group that Larry Drew has on the floor. Smith and Horford at the 4 and the 5. Crawford out there with Mike Bibby and Evans. The shot's good from Smith.
Assisted. Mike.
Here is Barea. Bibby covering. From deep. Blocked. Crawford outside. Back to Bibby. Deflected. Picked up by Nowitzki. Bibby kicks to Crawford. 2 on the clock. Cuts the score to single digits. Crawford's got his first 2 points.
No one really contested him at the basket that time, Kevin. He's just too good in there to leave the door open for him.
Barea. And sinks it from 3.
Boy, there's been no answer for the three-point shot this half. They've dominated from behind the arc.
Time call here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. They're losing by 12. 1:59 left in the game. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Guys, well, Larry Drew had some advice for his team over that last break. He pumped his team up saying, it's moments like these that you play for. Leave everything you have on the court and play like you know you can. Let's watch, Kevin.
Both teams deciding to change it up. Here is Bibby. Evans, defended by Butler. Williams. Uncovered. Tyson Chandler pulls it in.
He's got to break out of this slump if his team wants a chance to win.
From downtown. And it's Butler missing.
My man just lost his mind. What was he thinking with that shot? That clearly is not his lane.
3, Bibby. Shot is off. Now the Mavericks take it the other way. At one point, they led by 16. Here is Barea. Bibby covering. A nice shot by Barea.
Kevin, over the course of the game, they've gotten it done. This should be an insurmountable lead.
Bibby with it. Evans outside. Shaq's up a 3. And once again off the mark by Atlanta.
They've really done a great job securing the rebounds, Kevin.
They got the advantage right now, +5. Barea, no good. And the Hawks with possession. It's a 14-point game. And here's Bibby. On deep. Haywood grabs the board. 42 seconds left to the 4th. Here's Butler. Excellent D there by Johnson. Here comes Bibby. Back to Evans. Lets it go from the wing. Can't get it to go. And Dallas the other way. 22 seconds left in the game. Here's Barea. Dallas again missing. Left side Williams. From downtown. Kept alive. Goes back up. Misses. So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark and Doris and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Brand Player of the Game, Jason Kidd.